This is Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals.
And just 3 weeks remain in the regular season here on Friday Night Rivals. And in this region, 6A Region 1, we think we know who's going to be the top two teams. You're going to have Saraland at the number 1 seed. Then you're going to have Spanish Fort number 2. And then 3 and 4, it's up for grabs. And that's why we're here tonight in Theodore with Theodore and McGill matching up for this big region matchup, which will have playoff implications. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox, my partner, Dan Brennan. Always great to be back here in Theodore. Two teams we haven't seen so far yet this season. But with this McGill team, a quarterback that we saw last year, saw him kind of grow up during one of our games. He's a big guy with a strong arm. Looking forward to seeing him here tonight in his junior season.
Very cerebral quarterback as well, according to first-year coach David Faulkner, who we enjoyed having back in town, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Andrew Murchison is the guy you're talking about, number 14, got a good arm, really good leader. The team loves him. They'll follow him anywhere. He is only a junior, too, so he's a bit of a prospect. People are looking at this kid. Again, 6'4", 200, and more room to grow. Big, solid kid, and we've watched him for years.
Yep, McGill comes in going up against a team who's really strong defensively. Theodore's always good on defense. Steve Mask is here, and that hasn't changed. They're giving up just 43 yards a game on the ground, but they have got a player, like, he's going to jump off the screen tonight. When you see number 6, Bobby Pruitt, like, you're watching home, you're like, oh, that's the guy.
And when you're running the ball and you see Bobby Pruitt come, duck, because he comes and he brings it, and he's a very physical football player. Looks like right now he's committed to Miami.
Yep.
That could change. We shall see. A lot of people like him, like up in Tuscaloosa as well. Great physical football player. I don't think you're going to really see a better linebacker all year long on UTV 44.
6'3", really fast. We'll see him on offense some as well. They like to get the ball into his hands on offense. So it's a big matchup here tonight. Friday Night Rivals, big 6A Region 1 matchup here in Theodore. It's McGill and the Bobcats, and kickoff comes up right after this. All right, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here in Theodore, about ready to get this one underway here. Is big 6A Region 1 matchup, about ready for our coin toss here to see who will get this one underway on offense. Mobile County Sheriff's Office coin toss, and the toss won by McGill, and they will defer. And so we will see the Theodore offense out here. First made a grab, point down. Steve Mask coming out of the tunnel there. We were looking at Coach Mask, and you were like, how many times has he been down there, in this position before his first year here at Theodore? Of course, had the great run at St. Paul's, won 4 state championships there.
Yeah. Had a great conversation about this Theodore team this week and again on the field before the game. And this is a physical team. This is a team that likes to play football at its most primal level. They want to. He said he was not going to have a spring game last year, and the players came up to him and said, "We got to have a spring game."
Come on, don't take one of those. Don't take one game away from us here.
Exactly.
And then how about talking like just the intensity in practice?
Yeah, he says he's got to calm them down.
Scale it back. We're all on the same team here, guys. Let's do this in a walkthrough. Let's get this going that way. But of course, Coach Mask, long time at St. Paul's, won the 4 state championships there, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. And then on the other side, we get reacquainted with an old friend.
Yeah.
Just one of those guys, I think, universally loved by and respected by all the coaches as one of the young guard kind of coming up, if you will.
No doubt. David Faulkner, and he's not that young now, because it was probably 12 years ago or so we last saw him at Fairhope. He went on to Enterprise from there. He's been in a number of places, including Troy University and West Virginia before coming back to McGill. And he really likes the student body, the kids, the players on his team at McGill. He thinks he can, build something special, and I think that administration thinks he can too.
Yeah, left Fairhope and went to Enterprise, which is its own independent school system, and really we saw Ben Blackman do the same thing from Spanish Fort there. It's a great opportunity over there, and as you said, went up to Troy and then West Virginia, and now he's back down here, and he's excited to be here. And you know what, McGill, they just let him be there for a while. McGill needs some stability. I mean, he's their 4th head coach in the last 7 years.
Yeah, good point.
They need some stability, and he's the guy who can be there and really build this thing back up over the next 10 years or so.
Yeah, I think he's willing to do that.
Henry Green, big leg for McGill-Toolen. About ready to kick this one off.
Not sure what the delay is.
Yeah. J.J. Bush and, guess who? Bobby Pruitt back to return kicks.
Yeah, you get to see him opening play. I think it might be a situation with the clock. The clock is at 0 instead of 12 minutes.
We got all kinds of technical gremlins running around the stadium here tonight.
We do. We're going to try to work through them, but yeah, that clock's at 0s. That's not good.
So J.J. Bush and Pruitt will be back deep. Now they got it to 12. Here we go. So now we'll get this one.
Oh, they're starting it early. Easy, guys.
Now we got it back. There we go. Now they got it back corrected. All right. So Henry Green again for McGill. McGill 4-3, 3-2 in the region. This would be a huge win for the Yellow Jackets.
And they're improving.
Yep. Lost last week to Spanish Fort. Fell behind early on some special teams miscues. And Bush drops this one back at about the 1. It carries him into the end zone. And they've had some changes offensively for this Theodore team. Krishan Overton at quarterback, taking over as a sophomore. We'll also have to see, maybe have a change in the backfield as well. As it looks like we're going to have Vontae Richardson is going to replace Braxton Clark there, who Clark just not able to go tonight, and he's got 867 yards coming into tonight's game. So that's a tough loss for them, but they'll replace him with Richardson, who comes over from his linebacker position. And Overton pitches it to Richardson, who gets around the corner and steps out just past the 25, maybe out to the 26. So they'll pick up 6 on first down.
This McGill team is going to be challenged on the line of scrimmage, Jim, big time because of their lack of size, actually.
Got Henson, Waters, and Gonzalez up front. Adams, Henson, Hawthorne, Hill, Whitfield, Jackson, McCarron, and Welch. Welch, the corner. He's got 3 picks on the year. Took 1 back for a touchdown. 2nd and 4. Here for the Bobcats on this opening drive. Overton looking to throw, looking for the near side. That one's going to be out of bounds as he wanted Scott. But you see the arm of the young sophomore on our second play from scrimmage and why they're excited about him here in Theodore.
They're excited about a lot of these guys. And I wouldn't say they've got a young team, but you've got a lot of young talent on this team for sure that Steve Mass can develop.
Scott had a step up the near sideline, but just drifted to the near side. He was matching up there against Shamar Welch. And now it'll make it 3rd and 4, and Richardson stays in at running back behind the sophomore. He's thrown for 154 yards, still looking for his first touchdown on the season. Change was made a couple of weeks ago as Rigby got hurt, and then now Overton able to take over and break in a tackle is Richardson, and he's out across the 50, and that'll be good for a first down and way more as he'll pick up 29 on that 3rd and 4, and it's a Roof Doctor's first down.
Yeah, look at the good blocking on the edge. If we get a replay, that's exactly what you're going to see. This is all predicated on keeping McGill from turning it inside, and excellent blocking, good running back, and all those yards follow.
Inside McGill territory at the 45. Scott, sophomore, comes in motion.
Welch followed him.
Looking that way. This one tipped and too hot as it goes off the hands of his intended receiver, Pruitt. We talked about make that with Scott. Not Pruitt, 5, not 6, and
bring up 2nd down for the Bobcats.
Be incomplete, but we will see Pruitt, as we said, on offense tonight. They will bring him over there on that side of the ball, and 6'3" and speed and violent. You like that matchup. He can get the ball in his hands in space, right?
No kidding. I mean, defensively, he's going to be a violent guy to contend with, and with the ball in his hands, Lord help us all. I would think his dad, of course, had a stint in the NFL.
Yeah, Edric Pruitt played with the Seahawks, part of that Seahawks team that won the Super Bowl, and actually had to come in. He was a safety, and there was an injury in that game, and he came in and stepped up and played in that game well in the second half and helped them win the Super Bowl, but Southern Miss, right?
Yeah,
Southern Miss got drafted by the Falcons.
Yeah, right here from Theodore as well, and he was on some really good Theodore teams at the time, late 90s, early 2000.
Not sure. Having more challenges here as the officials looking up at the scoreboard, and Steve Mask looking up there as well. And I'm not sure what our holdup is here. Looks like maybe they're having some communication issues, so we'll take a timeout here early on in this one. Scoreless. Theodore has the football, just starting this one.
Home for the PAT for the Bobcats. Kickoff for the Bobcats.
Hey, go find you one. Hey, here's me.
McGill-Toolen will start play from the 35-yard line.
Hey, calm down. Let's play ball. Come on now. Hey, you fast enough to take care of any of that. Just calm down. You good? Nope.
All sides on the Bobcats.
So Theodore a little
Bring up 1st and 5.
aggressive there. So 1st and 5 with Murchison and crew, and give, and we see that stout defense with Arian Miller, the freshman running back. Actually, that was the sophomore Jack Lenigan with the carry.
Obviously,
This front seven is really good for this Theodore team.
yeah, and they dominated on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage. So what happens here?
2nd and 5, and they go right back. And this time, Lenigan, the sophomore, will pick up 4 and bring up 3rd and 1 for McGill. McGill, they lost 41-19 last week, stopped a 4-game winning streak when they lost to Spanish Fort, but they fell behind 13-0 on special teams errors in the opening period. They just were never able to recover getting out of that hole. Lenigan tried to push it forward on the right side, and he is driven back by Bobby Pruitt and T.J. Davis, and he did not get the yard to gain, and it's 4th and 1 coming up here at the 44.
How good is this Theodore defense? This good. Watch here. I don't think he ever got there, right?
Nope.
Driven back. That was not a pleasant experience for the young running back.
They will
Robinson back deep for the Bobcats.
bring Henry Green out to kick. Braylon Robinson back for Theodore, and Gill's going to have to hurry. They had a late addition come on here, and the play clock approaching down to 5. Now they're going to go for a fake around the near side, and they're going to pick it up to the 49-yard line. Maybe they get the 48 as they go with the direct snap. Blaine Barry takes it and goes around the left end, and David Faulkner says, all right, we got to try here. Really well executed play there.
I agree.
They convert. So special teams was a problem in the opening quarter last week against Spanish Fort, but here they
the one thing that worked.
Yeah. Now up to the 43. Bit of a high snap. Murchison looking to throw, and he'll roll to his right. Has some time. Pressure coming. Eludes that and stays in bounds and drops his shoulder right at the stick. And Murchison, I believe, he's going to have the first down.
Yeah, Theodore winning the line of scrimmage again. Can't quite get to him. He gets the edge, and then, like you say, he finishes very physically.
Yeah, he ran. Braylon Robinson, the safety, he is very physical back there as well. And Roof Doctor's first down. Murchison has time, and now he steps up in the pocket, and this time it's going to collapse on him, and DJ Lee is going to bring him down. Lee with his 3rd sack of the season. Pocket held up for a little bit there for Murchison.
It did. Watch this too. Look at these wholesale changes on this defensive line. Lee makes the sack, and then Lee gets a rest. I don't think there's a lot of coaches can afford to do that on defense.
Yeah, they rotate 6 up front. Lee, Norwood, and Williams are the starters, and a loss of 3 on the sack, and now it's going to be 2nd and 18 after the false start on the right side. And
isn't that what you get when a team brings pressure? You're an outside, you're a tackle on the edge, and it's going through your mind. I've got to make sure that I get set up.
Yeah, this front 7 is really the engine on this Theodore defense.
They are the tone setter.
And now you got to put the ball in the air here, and you got a defensive line that can get after you with just 4. Murchison looks to set up the screen, and that one was tipped and bounces up in the air, and they're going to say this is a live ball still. All the way in for the touchdown is A.J. Pugh. If it counts, it's his 2nd of the season, and now they're going to say it's incomplete. I mean, I thought it was a pretty clear incomplete.
You know,
they didn't blow the whistle.
Your eyes have got about 14 years on mine, so I'm going to have to watch this right here.
I thought it was tipped by Pruitt. He got a little finger on it. But were they saying were his hands? Did the official think his hands were underneath and it bounced up?
Pretty unlikely, right?
Yeah, and it bounced so straight up like it was hitting a hard surface.
Yeah.
So it'll stay at 3rd and 18.
I thought I saw what I saw, but a lot of vision self-doubt comes into play.
Yeah, and the officials didn't blow the whistle, which you'd rather be slow on a whistle as opposed to rule it dead, and you're like, ooh, did I miss that? You can always call it back. Murchison steps up again, has some time, and now the pressure comes from the backside, and he'll get wrapped up and brought down by Gerald Rogers. One of those rotational defensive linemen that come in for the Bobcats.
Not a bad pocket, and it's just
and I like how Murchison climbed up in it to give himself some more time.
Climbs up in it, but nobody's open, and a lot of it's man-to-man, and Theodore just locks them up. They've got great speed. They're very physical, and they've got a number of defensive linemen that they can rotate in and out. They've got a lot on defense.
So Green on to punt at 4th and 21. This one not a very long punt. Angles toward the sidelines. Goes out of bounds around the 20. We'll see how far up the official goes. He'll go all the way up to the 27-yard line. So not much distance on that punt at all. McGill extended that drive. You know, they got the penalty on 1st down to make it 1st and 5, and then they on 4th and 1 converted to keep that drive alive, and then went backwards. Yeah, with the fake, and then went backwards after that.
Line of scrimmage, Theodore, both sides of the ball so far tonight, decisively.
Got folks checking in, watching. Billy Dial watching this one in Mobile. Wes Williams watching this one up in Auburn tonight. And under center, Overton rolling out and can't complete. That was he tried to get it to Rashard Earl.
Jim, where did they come up with that exotic look? Quarterback under center.
Well, Steve Mask has been doing this, a long time.
Yes,
right?
He coached the quarterback under center for many years, I'm sure.
And that one comes up incomplete on 1st down here. Theodore took the opening drive, 80 yards on 7 plays for the game scoring and touchdown on the opening drive here. Michael Miles goes in motion to the bottom of the screen and back to Richardson, and Richardson, watch out! Richardson across the 50. Richardson, 73 yards. He's got 153 on the ground in not quite 7 minutes.
About halfway through the period, this kid's having a career night.
M&S Calvert touchdown. 73 yards and untouched for all of them.
He's an explosive runner, and they're just This reminds me a lot of what I saw the other night
At South Alabama.
At South Alabama, and I had a touchdown view, and you could just see the holes at South Alabama. Was
touchdown views. You had a lot of views.
I did. And it was domination, and that's what we're seeing so far tonight.
AM&S Calvert Innovations in Steel, strengthened by people, now hiring at AMNSCalvertJobs.com. And Frias has got that one as well, and it's 14-0. McGill-Toolen on top early on in the first. All Bobcats on the ground here on Friday Night Rivals. 5:10 to go here in the opening quarter, and what a start for Theodore on the ground. If you're just joining us, we talked about it at the start. Vontae Richardson comes in, replaces Braxton Clark tonight. Clark rushed for just under 900 yards on the year, 9 TDs, but injured, can't go here on senior night. And Richardson comes over, and he's got 153 yards on 6 carries, I believe.
Yeah, 6 carries, and a lot of those runs he really was never touched.
No. And now you're McGill, and you get in a big hole early, and you got to at this, you still got to try to run the football, because you can't try to throw against these guys all night long. You're going to be in huge trouble, right?
Well, they haven't had any luck throwing it either. He's had a little bit of a time. He's had some time to throw, but they've covered so well.
Kick taken by Welch, and he's just across the 25-yard line. And didn't really have much going on there. A couple of sacks on that
J.J. Bush on the stop for the Bobcats.
opening possession, and Theodore offensive coaches.
It's going to look like McGill's going to have to find something in special teams. They're going to have to find something in terms of
maybe get the screen game going, that pressure coming.
Maybe so, but even something a little trickier, something up your sleeve that you've been holding on to for a while, because the line of scrimmage is not there for them right now.
Lenahan on the right side will get one. Not much over there. Brian Ward over to make the tackle.
We got two trains, and we got.
It was a 73-yard touchdown run on that drive there, not 27 yards. So
fire trucks, choo-choo trains, and a lot of touchdowns already.
Yeah. Murchison again gives it up. Lenahan met by Davis, their second leading, he's their leading tackler. And 3rd and about 7 coming up here for the Yellow Jackets. Again, McGill ran off 4 in a row before that loss to Saraland. They got, to Spanish Fort. They got Blunt and Saraland remaining on the schedule. Murchison, 3rd and long, pressure again, steps up, flips it out, able to get that one complete, and he's got it to Roscoe Haywood, and Haywood has a first down and more with a straight arm. He's up almost to midfield to about the 47-yard line, and he'll pick up 20 and a first down for McGill.
I don't know how many they've got on that sideline that can challenge Theodore a little bit with their speed. He can. Hayward is the one guy that he could be playing for Theodore, right?
Yep, 22nd catch on the year for the senior. Haywood, he's got 11 touchdowns on the year, 9 receptions and 2 rushes. They'll put him at Wildcat when they get down inside the 10. So it's a Roof Doctor's first down. And Murchison again under duress, wrapped up, breaks one man's tackle, but he's going to get pulled down up to the 46. But it's probably going to be a hold there, or maybe a face mask.
I think it's face mask, Jim. So he's going to get 5 plus the 15.
Oh, yep.
That'll be a gain of 20 for McGill, and they need yards any which way that they can manufacture him. Watch when he's done a good job of stepping up, Jim, but right here, see his head snap back. Clearly had his face mask.
Yeah, it's Kevin Norwood. But he still broke away from Norwood. Norwood's 6'2", 305. He's going to South. He's going to be on the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star team.
This kid's got a lot of moxie. He's really processes things very well, as you can see. it's just a tough matchup for this offensive line.
Linehan. He'll get maybe a yard on that one. But McGill could get some points on this drive. So huge. This is Theodore defense. Lee, Norwood, and Williams. Bobby Pruitt going to Miami. Davis and Ward. Richardson jumping over, playing on offense tonight. Nelson, Robinson, and then number 12, J.J. Bush. I mean, he is a guy. He's going to be another star on this defense. 6'2", 192 pounds, playing safety. He'll probably come up and play linebacker. Sayon Morris, also a transfer from Blunt, came there to make the stop.
Morris on the stop for the Bobcats. Play gains 2 yards.
Watch Morris chase after it downfield here. And third and about 7 again.
2 down territory, right?
Oh, has to be. Murchison rolling out, looking, trying to come to his big tight end, Wes Miles, who is hit by Bobby Pruitt. And again with a slow whistle, but I haven't seen anybody say incomplete. I'm going to say it's a catching a fumble.
Let's see.
Officials kind of huddling together. Let's take a look.
I watch Pruitt, number 6.
Yeah, this is Wes Miles, the tight end.
That might be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, tough to see because his back was to us on the cameras on this side.
He didn't have it long. And they're talking about it right now. I would not be surprised if this is just going to be called an incomplete pass. Let's see.
Second time it's been an incomplete on a questionable, kind of a call that was in question, not a questionable call.
That's a good way to put it.
So it'll bring up 4th and 7 here for McGill. Inside 2.5 to go. You just look there and.
You know, we were told to be on the lookout for Pruitt, that he is not just a guy with great speed and gets to the play. He really affects the play when he gets there.
All right, they're going to try a 46-yard field goal. Do you have a bit of a crosswind?
Yeah.
On 4th and 7.
And plus you got a train coming across the field. It sounds like.
I think that train wears number 6, and he just put a big hit on something that was on the tracks over there on the far side of the field.
That sound is coming out of his helmet.
5 of 10 on the year for Henry Green.
This was his long in pregame. This was the long.
They had a block taken back for a touchdown, and this one will not make it there. As McGill was moving the ball there with some help of that 15-yard penalty, and that drive is thwarted there. Now, the PA announcer said not even close. I don't think you need to sometimes editorialize as the public address announcer.
We have learned that at high school stadiums across the Gulf Coast, each PA announcer has his own style and community understanding of what they expect from that gentleman.
And I don't think that's just limited to the Gulf Coast, right? I think
probably not.
Texas, you'd probably hear the same guy doing PA announcements there as we've heard somewhere along the Gulf Coast.
Agreed.
2:16 here in the opening quarter, and Theodore back with it after the 20 after the miss, and they'll give it to Scott on the end around, and Scott with some space, and the speedy sophomore he'll get this one up near the 40.
Tyree Scott around the left side.
Just because they can.
Yeah, he covered a lot of east and west on that one before he turned it up.
Yeah, he makes the first defender miss right here. See who it is. It's the outside backer, and he just can't keep up. Can't stay up.
Picks up 16. Someone else on the score sheet rushing the ball now for Theodore. And this time Richardson hit right in the hole by Trey Waters. Senior defensive lineman here for this McGill team.
Richardson carries up the middle.
McGill's not real big defensively.
No, they're not. They give away a lot of pounds up front, and that's how it's playing out, right?
It's been everything up front for this Bobcat team to start things here in the opening quarter. I'll go back to the shotgun. Overton will play action, looking to his right. Able to get this one back off to Scott. Makes the first man miss, and he's going to pick up about 9. He may have fallen forward, and he may have got enough for the first down, depending on the spot here. But you can see why they like to, and that is good for a first down. You can see why they like to get it in his hands, as he was able to slip past Joseph Huff.
Trey Waters almost got a hand on that ball. 55.
Roof Doctor's first down as we're inside a minute to go.
So he's their tackle in the middle, Jim, and he weighs 185. That's what we're talking about.
I'll give to the fullback, Earl. Fullback dive here, Dan Brennan.
Yeah.
And now the ball comes loose at the end of this play. And the officials are going to say, no, this is... And we'll get the groans from the far side on that one this time.
Yeah, that's Hanson. He's a defensive end.
We go right to Earl. I'm trying to rip it away. Tough with a lot of bodies in there, but it'll be 2nd and 6 when we come back to start quarter number 2. Theodore looking impressive early on here in this one. 6A Region 1 matchup. Did this one poke? Oh, this was the 73-yard touchdown run by Richardson that put Theodore on top 14-0 through 1 here on Friday Night Rivals.
Executive Director.
Just ready to start the second quarter here on Friday Night Rivals. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here in Theodore. 6A Region 1 matchup, and Theodore impressive in that first quarter, Dan Brennan, on both sides of the ball.
Very, and when you look at something like that, is it anything you can cure if you're McGill?
And Bobcats with it right at midfield here on 2nd and 6 to open things up in the second. Overton, lots of time, flings it to the near side and through the hands and incomplete as he was trying to get it to Micah Ray. And Overton had some time there, and Ray just he kind of bumped into his own player there on his break and kind of threw off the timing.
I got it.
And now 3rd and 6 coming up. Some other games update you. Big 7A matchups tonight. Mary G on top of Daphne, 20-0 in the second quarter already. How about that win for Mary G last week over Baker in the Battle of West Mobile? 3rd and 6 on the pitch. Richardson breaks a tackle. Richardson bangs ahead, and he's got another first down up to the 42.
That's about as old school SEC as you can go, or Southern Cal, or you name your school.
Toss to the near side. Yep.
Ran with power, and there you go. There's all the escorts, and you got a back running like this guy. He'll get you 6.
I mean, he's 5'11", about 195, with great open field speed as well that we've seen early on here.
Not afraid of contact. Why would you be at 5'11", 195? And he really can turn it on.
Faith leads Williamson 7-0. St. Paul's leads Blunt in a 6A Region 1 matchup. 7-0 in the second quarter right now. Rolling out Overton. Pressure coming from Waters. Slings in the middle of the field, looking for single coverage there. And that one kind of hung up in the air and incomplete. They're trying to come to Rigby and Kobe Whitfield, who's got a couple of picks on the year with good coverage there. But you can see that the young sophomore's got a strong arm.
Yeah, and you can also see one-on-one coverage about 30 yards down the field, which is a scary prospect for McGill, but Whitfield holds up.
2nd and 10 with Scott in motion. They hand it to him, and he looks to bounce to the outside. Instead, cuts it in at the numbers. And Scott up to the 26-yard line. Will pick up 15 and another first down here for the Theodore Bobcats.
Jim, I see 2 things. I see the Theodore line getting to their guy, getting to the second level, and when they get there, they're delivering blows. Yeah, I mean, they're not just getting in the way of people at the linebacker position. They're affecting them and running the ball with pretty much ease.
And you thought the physical advantage was clearly going to be on Theodore's side coming into this one, and it's evident early here.
Yep, I'd agree.
Oh, bobbled the snap, but Overton collects himself and able to dump it out of the backfield, able to get that one off to Rigby, and the former quarterback has got the touchdown for the Bobcats. Overton did a great job collecting himself after the bobbled snap, and A&M Calvert touchdown, and just kind of leaking out of the backfield there is Rigby, and he too untouched on the 27-yard touchdown.
He shows a little speed on that, huh?
A&M Calvert, innovations in steel, strengthened by people. Now hiring at amscalvertjobs.com, and Frias looking to make this one 21-0 as Theodore has been most impressive here to start this one tonight. And Frias perfect tonight. Perfect on the season as the Bobcats extend their lead here on senior night, 21-0. They lead McGill-Toolen 6A Region 1 matchup here on Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Yellow Jackets, 0.
Nothing here after just a minute 49 in the second quarter. Theodore leads McGill-Toolen. Got more folks checking in while they're out fishing in the Gulf of Mexico. This time Scott Freeman on the Grander Sunrise, watching tonight's Friday Night Rivals. It's the name of the boat, Grander Sunrise.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Scott Freeman.
Well, different Scott Freeman?
Huh.
So
should I know Scott Freeman?
Just while he was watching Friday Night,
Rivals
while he's out on his boat in the Gulf of Mexico.
I didn't know he was somebody noteworthy.
I consider all of our viewers noteworthy, Dan Brennan. 9 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 5 seconds after the 27-yard touchdown pass there from Overton to Rigby. And McGill has got to do something to slow things down. This could spiral real quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a pretty big gap in players.
U.S. Army kickoff. This one will be taken by Roscoe Haywood at the 15, and Haywood dances across the 25, spins, and gets up to about the 35. So a good return there for Haywood and crew. We talked about just how good this front seven is for Theodore, but even when Murchison's had some time, the coverage on the back end has been really great.
Spotless.
Yeah.
And Murchison is he's a well-trained and an improving quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, he's seeing everything downfield. It's just not there.
Spanish Ford on top of Robertsdale, 28-0 in the first quarter. Murchison slips this one off, and Stanton with his first touch tonight. And Stanton's up to about the 30, make it about to the 41 they'll give him. So good gain on first down to start things there for the Yellow Jackets. That 15th catch of the year for Stanton.
7-yard gain.
Have seen McGill use some real up-tempo this season.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that tonight, Jim.
This is Ladarian Miller, the freshman I talked about earlier, and he's going to pick up the Roof Doctors' first down here as he gets about 5, and nice hole there on the left side. Freshman 543 yards coming into tonight.
Gains 8 yards, and McGill-Toolen first down.
Miles moves into that H-back spot and slips this one out the far side, and that was Rev Zuniga, his first catch tonight, 17th of the season for McGill-Toolen, picks up about 3.
Bush and Pugh
just an extension of the running game. These quick passes here, right?
Yeah, and, I got to give Murchison credit. He's putting it right there, and that may not mean much to you, but he's giving his guys a chance. This offensive line has actually been improving as the year's gone along. Theodore kind of having their way with him to this point.
Got a couple of returning starters up front. Again, pressure coming. Murchison hit as that one's incomplete. He got drilled in the back right as he let that one go.
He's getting hit every time, just about every time he drops back. And you're right, he's extended the plays by moving up in the pocket, which you don't see a lot of quarterbacks figure that out.
Going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Yellow.
I think Murchison's a good player.
Seems like McGill's been in 3rd and 7 all night here tonight.
Yep.
Pair of receivers to the top and the bottom of your screen. Murchison again climbs the pocket, has time looking over the middle of the field, and it's almost intercepted as that one hung up there a little bit. And J.J. Bush, the sophomore, was looking for his 3rd pick of the year. And McGill's going to have to punt again.
Devontae Richardson on the hurry.
Boy, again, he was hit as he's releasing it. I'm sure there's frustration on his part. He's held it a few times and taken the sack. At that point, he was, heck or high water. He was going to try to get something downfield and get this offense going.
Now look at this formation here. Dan Brennan on 3rd and 7. Green, the high punt again, angling toward the sidelines and bounces inside the 18. And Theodore will get it back on top, 21-0 here in the early stages of quarter number 2 on Friday Night Rivals.
Since 2016, Andy Citron Injury Attorneys has partnered with Friday Night Rivals, supporting student athletes and fundraising and also furthering education. Once again, Andy Citron's going to award a $5,000 scholarship to one of our Scholastic athletes. Also, tonight's game brought to you by AMNS Calvert. Innovations in steel, strengthened by people. Now hiring at amnscalvertjobs.com.
Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here at Theodore tonight. 8 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the second, and the Bobcats with the lead and the ball.
First down Bobcats from the 22. Overton, the quarterback for the Bobcats.
And the sophomore, Krishan Overton, on the toss to the near side, and Richardson gives a big push there to Gianni Smith, his left guard, and was trying to help Gianni get the wheels going a little bit downhill there to get around him.
Watch the blocking on the outside. Everybody's got somebody taking care of him, including Welch here at the end. He's got to fight off a block and just spins.
Just slowed him down enough
to... never really made the tackle, but he knew he needed to turn that play in, and he did. Theodore's getting a hat on a hat.
Yeah, Adams able to make the stop, and Shamar's been playing long enough too. He's like, I just need to get away from 285-pound Giovanni Smith. Now Devin Draper here on senior night gets his first carry on 2nd and 2, gets one. Going to be 3rd and short coming up for the Bobcats. Steve Mask, you talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, Dan, he's really likes his kids out here, likes being out here. Glad to be back in the Mobile area. Went to Pell City for a year after finished up at St. Paul's, and he was glad to be back here as Draper does get the first down. But I think he was maybe even a little surprised at his kids here at Theodore.
Yeah, I think he definitely is. There's certainly a sense of community down here in Theodore. These kids they're not drifting out of the Theodore area. They're going to stay and play with their guys.
Yep. Waters doing a job to get the paw up here and knock that one away.
Yeah.
Almost had a chance to pull that one down. He'll bring up 2nd and 10, but he just likes the way they love football.
Yep, they love football. Like I said, spring game, he wasn't going to have one. He doesn't really believe in those.
He was outvoted.
Mutiny on the bounty to play a game.
There's Coach Mass there again, went to the Hall of Fame in 2020, and well-deserved for sure. He's been coaching a long time, and now Overton has the pocket breakdown, but he slips away, and watch out. Now Overton across midfield, and he'll step out of bounds there. It picks up 18. That looked like he was just going to get dropped for a loss behind the line.
I'll tell you who's getting dropped. Watch the McGill players on the ground. Watch the McGill players, more of them, knocked on the ground. This team is not just blocking well and picking up people. They're just annihilating them to give their, in this case, quarterback a chance to pick up some yards.
And like the looks of the sophomore quarterback early on here.
Yeah.
Another Roof Doctor's first down.
It's all relative. You got the big guys up front taking care of you. You can look good.
Play action and lots of time. And Overton leans into this one, looking for the near side. And Shamar Welch was there. They're trying to get it to Bobby Pruitt. As you see Pruitt there, and Pruitt had to turn into be a defensive back on that one because it was a little underthrown, and Welch had good coverage.
Yeah, and I think this is a little bit of respect right here. Welch, one of the best players on the McGill team. Pruitt, pretty much all world. And after this play, he takes the time to reach down and give Welch a hand to get back up on the get back up to his position.
So you see Pruitt, they had him split out wide at 6'3", about 190, and yeah, that is a matchup here at DB. You're not a fan of that. They pitch it to Richardson, and now a big hole on the left side. Here goes Richardson inside the 10, and he's down to the 5. 45 more yards for Richardson on the ground. And they're into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Great hole on the left side.
McGill just not big enough at the point of attack. They're just getting leveled, and it's opening up some huge holes. And you don't see any change coming.
Colby Whitfield with a good open field tackle to go low on Richardson there to pull him down. Tim Williams, defensive end / fullback, comes in. A fake to Richardson, looking for the end zone. Tossed up. Touchdown. They go to Rashard Earl, another senior. And the fullback with his first touchdown of the year. Do we have a flag?
Well, no,
yeah.
I think he went down as soon as he got up.
We get a flag over here at the near side. But I think.
Is Earl okay?
Yeah, he's a little hobbled there.
Yeah.
Ineligible downfield. Well, that happened quickly. Takes the touchdown off the board.
Sure does.
Well, the illegal downfield on the Bobcats.
Wow.
Touchdown will be nullified.
So it'll stay first down here. And
talking to David Faulkner earlier this week, he was pretty upbeat. He really likes the kids, but you can see
it's physical mismatch.
It happens to be. This is not a slight at all on the McGill kids. They're just giving up a lot of girth and weight, and they're young too.
So first and goal back at the 10. Richardson this time on the right side, bounces it toward the edge. Stiff arm at the byline, steps in, touchdown, Bobcats.
Taking the fight right to McGill.
M&S Calvert touchdown. He gets to the outside here and makes a little contact to the one and forces his way in on Kobe Whitfield.
Yeah, South Alabama commit Kevin Norwood from the defensive side comes over to play a little tight end there.
6'2", 305,
yeah.
Prototypical tight end.
It worked, I'll just tell you that.
And Frias looking to make it 28-0.
Frias on for the PAT.
And it's good. M&S Calvert Innovations in Steel, strengthened by people now hiring at MNSCalvertJobs.com. This one all Theodore here in the first half on senior night. They're on top 28-0 over McGill. 3 touchdowns, 238 yards, and a quarter and a half for the fill-in tailback. Fonte Richardson for the Theodore Bobcats.
Yeah, funny he doesn't look like a fill-in. A lot of good players on this Theodore team.
Here's his third of the night.
Yeah, the second string tailback, bless his heart, having a good night.
Starts at linebacker and fills in over here, and it's rolling here tonight in Theodore for the Bobcats as our U.S. Army kickoff coming up.
Pretty nice evening for the third Friday in October, huh?
Yeah, I didn't mind the high 80 temps today. Not at all. High kick to Welch at the 7, drops it, grabs it right back, and wants to cross field, and now crosses again, and he'll get out to the 11. And that's it before Braylon Eli with the stop there, and so not great field position here for McGill. David Faulkner and Murchison have a little chat over there on the. We kind of saw Murchison grow up a little bit. Friday Night Rivals last year was battling for the starting job early in the year.
Yeah, he's. This is a tough match for him because of how good Theodore is defensively. He's tough, and I like him.
Back at the 11, and Lenahan up to about the 14.
When your running backs at McGill are a sophomore and a freshman, neither very stout or big. They're young guys.
Yeah, we'll see Haywood come in there some in a wildcat when, as we said, when they get down in a to-goal situation, but 2nd and 7 here. Murchison slings it out the far side, this time able to get it back off to Stanton, and Stanton pushed out of bounds, and it'll bring up about a 3rd and 5 maybe here for McGill.
Just the physicality, Jim. You watch Theodore complete blocks all over the field. McGill struggling to get the blocks and give their runner even a chance to advance.
Yeah, first down here would just to help you a little bit of field position game, if nothing else. Here on 3rd and 5, Murchison wants to go deep with the pump fake, and now he's going to be grabbed and wrapped up and brought down again as Morris was in there, and also Bobby Pruitt, and a 3 and out. Murchison, looked like he wanted to take a shot here with a little shoulder fake, and then that was the first hit from Pruitt, and then Pruitt was in there to or make it Zai Smith was in there, and Sayon Morris, and now Henry Green will punt from his own goal line on 4th and 8, and Braylon Robinson stands inside the McGill 45. Rugby style this time, and a line drive, and good kick by Green there as Robinson got away from it. It goes up to the 38-yard line.
It's about as close as you can come to flipping the field from there, right?
60-yard punt. That end over end got a nice bounce there, but you could see that rugby style. It kind of Braylon started kind of cheat up a little bit, just in case he were to take off running. The free safety. Yeah. Who knows a thing or two about being back there?
Yeah, I saw that. And now you've got less than 4 minutes to go, but it's taken Theodore no time to get their touchdowns. But 2 long runs.
Yeah. And back out they come at the 37 with just a few ticks under 4 minutes to go here. And this time it's going to be Overton who's going to keep it, and the sophomores across midfield, and more stutter steps and steps out of bounds at the 39. Picks up 24, and another Roof Doctors first down.
Yeah, watch again. I mean, there's nobody here. They commit to the inside, and whoopsie daisy, there's Overton. He can just pick his spot. Even the McGill player downfield, I think that's Welch. It is. He's being engaged by a blocker.
And they're at the 40. Slings this one incomplete. Trying to go to the slot on the right side. And he's trying to get it to Michael Miles, the senior. And 2nd and 10. Coming up here, you know, if you're Steve Mask, it's like you know, Overton's only been playing quarterback a couple of weeks in there for him. It's like you want to get your young quarterback as many reps as you can.
You want to get everybody ready for next week.
Yep. And say next week, another Friday Night Rivals matchup up I-65. Take on Saraland, the #1 team
on earth
in 6A, and this time the handoff goes to Robinson, breaks the tackle in the hole, and he'll pick up 5 on that one. Wow. Robinson.
I can't wait next week to see the first string running back.
Robinson took the handoff, was met.
Richardson around left side, play game 6.
Look at
Right
that.
in the hole there.
Third down for the Bobcats.
That was Malachi Southall. Went square up on Robinson, and Robinson able to gain 6.
Wasn't enough.
After it looked like it was going to be a loss of a few. Robinson on the left side, huge hole again, and the speed, and Welch battles and pushes him out of bounds inside the 10.
On the left side. Play game's 25 yards. And
But a 24-yard pickup on first down. Now they'll actually mark him down at the 6. So tack some more onto the end of that one for Robinson. But again, huge. Just gaping holes.
Yeah, gaping holes. I mean, you're going to look at his numbers. They're going to look great. He's the guy with the ball in his hands, but man, not really fighting off a lot of resistance on many of these runs.
And Norwood back at tight end on the right side. And they'll pitch and come to the left side, and Robinson has got his 4th touchdown of the first half, and he's untouched again. I'm just so impressed by this Theodore team tonight. A&S Calvert touchdown. I mean, you just didn't think they would pull away this quickly, this early.
Yeah, but when you watch the game, it's really not a shocker. McGill, you know, I'm sure they were scrappy. They won 4 in a row, but they played nobody like this during that stretch. And this is just, it's what, you know, in high school football, it can be a pretty sizable gap.
Yep.
This is a McGill program. Won a state championship 6 years ago, something like that.
And it's not the same McGill teams we've seen in the past. And that's why David Faulkner is there and will turn it around. A&S Calvert, innovations in jobs strengthened by people. Innovations in steel, now hiring at amscalvertjobs.com. And Frias makes it 35-0 here. Take a look at other games going on here. See if we can get some scores too. We saw Daphne was on top big early in that one. Fairhope and Bryant tonight battling just down the road. Foley and Davidson, Murphy and Baldwin County. St. Paul's leads Blunt 7-0 at the half. Spanish Fort on top 35-0 at the half over Robertsdale. BC Rain and LaFleur, big win for BC Rain last week over UMS. UMS leading Citronelle 10-0. Viger was on top of Alberta early in that one. Williamson and Faith, Escambia County and Bayside going at it tonight as well. Let's see, St. Michael and Jackson, Orange Beach and Wilcox County, Satsuma T.R. Miller, Monroe County hosting Cottage Hill Christian, and so the rest of the games rounding out our schedule here tonight on Friday Night Rivals. Here we're down to 2:40 to go in the first half, and it's 35-0 all Theodore, as more games going on up to our northern part of our viewing area here. Clark County and Fruitdale and Leroy, McIntosh and Milbury.
Frias to kick off for the Bobcats.
And Frias Bangs this one to Welch at about the 5, and Welch has some room up the left side, and Welch all the way across the 30 and about the 35-yard line. So good return there by Welch with 2:29 left here in the second quarter.
Anthony Pugh on the stop for the Bobcats.
Clearly, Welch is a pretty good player, too, the top corner and return guy.
And McGill just has been able to do nothing against this Theodore defense here tonight.
You just got to keep your head in it. Don't give in. Play by play. Use the proper technique. See what you can get.
Says Coach Brennan. Looking to set up the screen. Get this one out of the backfield and not much more. Maybe a yard. Because that was Ladarian Miller, the freshman running back.
We got to keep playing hard, Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing hard to this point, and you can look at the score.
Yeah, it's not an effort thing.
No, it's not.
Murchison quick over the middle, able to get that one in stride to Stanton, and now Stanton inside the 35, and the ball came loose, still loose on the ground, and I think Miles is going to be the one down there for McGill who got it. It was a big hit that knocked it loose there.
He got hit too.
For a first down. We had a fumble on the play, but the Yellow Jackets recover.
And they'll pick up.
Here's what I mean, Jim. I mean, just play the game. Quick slant. You got a good athlete. Let's get some.
Yeah, get 27 here. He was down anyway before that ball came out. But now some momentum here for the Yellow Jackets up to the 37. Murchison again steps up in the pocket, has time, checks it down out of the backfield. Miller and a flag here on that one, but you see the composure of Murchison. You know, you just think, oh, I got to take a shot. We're down, but no, just
takes what he can get, right?
Right here. That was going to be brought back on the hold.
This is a really good decision by Murchison. Downfield, Theodore's been excellent. He knows where his outlet is. Quickly gets it right to him as he's getting hit again.
Yeah, the hold is there. The tight end that actually had
on the Yellow Jackets.
Miles split out wide here, so it'll back it up to the 43. The minute 18
first down
to go. It'll still be first down. For McGill here.
Well, if they can play it out where they've got the ball at the end of the half, they've done something right there, because that'd be about 4 minutes they chewed off the clock without Theodore having possession.
Yeah, get the old 2 for 1.
Yep.
All right, so they back it to the
very costly penalty.
Yeah, up to the 48-yard line. And the clock restarts. First and long for the Yellow Jackets. Murchison hit again, and that one, Miles not there, and Bobby Pruitt was in there, and Gerald Rogers was there as well, but that was a big hit put on Murchison as he let that one go. If you're a defender, it's like this is what you love. You know they're going to be throwing the ball, and you can pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. On 2nd and 20.
Second about 22.
Roscoe Haywood to the bottom of the screen. Murchison gives it off, and the freshman Miller up to about the 45.
You know, here's what you're hoping for Murchison and really McGill, Jim. You hope that this game is almost like like a rough memory for Murchison. Like, man, I remember that game. That was rough.
Yeah.
But he's able to go on, play against teams less talented, have big games against them. You build people around him, and maybe the kid can have a good junior and senior year.
3rd and 18. Murchison again looks to set up the screen, floats this one up, and Miller is wrapped up immediately as he makes the catch. And
Devontae Richardson on the stop for the Bobcats.
Richardson coming over and getting back to his usual starting spot at linebacker. And on 4th down, I don't think Steve Mask is going to take a timeout. He's just going to let the clock run out here. And impressive first half for
Your Theodore Bobcats, 35.
Theodore Bobcats on top by a score of 35-0 as we wait for Dan Brennan to be able to get down there and catch up with Coach Steve Mask with an impressive first half here for Theodore. Scored on their opening possession and really never looked back, and they're on top big by a score of 35-0 as Dan Brennan had to try to navigate his way through the band, the McGill band, making their way out on the field, and now he's been able to get down there, and Dan Brennan down on the field with head coach Steve Mask.
Don't mean it malicious, I'm just saying. I may have all that waiting on you.
Steve Mask, your team is physical, it is fast, and it loves to play this game.
They do. They do like to play. We talked about it, you and I, before the warm-ups, and with Jim, and they like to have fun. They like to play football. We got a little bit better talent right now than the other team does. That's pretty obvious, but I think that very pleased with the execution of offense, 5 for 5 on drives, and defensively got a shutout at halftime. And thought both Coach Kendall Gibson and Randy Larson both did a good job on both sides of the ball.
Steve, how do you coach a second half in a game like this?
Well, hopefully, we'll take the first drive in the third quarter and do something with on both sides of the ball and try to get everybody back in the game. But, it's got to be a teaching moment, coming back out, all the old cliches about the first 5 minutes at half and all that stuff. But you got to use it as a positive way of getting things better for down the road. So hopefully we'll go in and manage it right, do the right thing.
We'll see you after the game. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate y'all.
There you go, Steve Mask, the coach of the Theodore Bobcats, easily up right now at a score of 35-0 at the half. Dan Brennan on the field with McGill-Toolen Athletic Director Bill Griffin. You've been around a long time doing this, Bill.
35 years.
That's a long time. So Theodore up handily at the half. So we've got a half to go here. Meanwhile, there's some other sports being played at McGill right now that I know you want to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah. Well, our volleyball team won the area last night. I can't remember when we didn't win the area, but we're headed to Super Regionals next week and then hopefully to state the following week.
You hired David Faulkner as the new football coach. Your expectations for him in this program, and then big picture at McGill. How are things looking, and what are some of the things you're shooting for in the future for the athletic department?
Well, with hiring David, he's setting a foundation that we're going to be able to build on and live for a while, long after I'm gone here. And he's doing things the right way. He's hired an outstanding coaching staff. We're a little depleted right now. We have several players hurt, and so but they're out there battling.
Yeah, they are. Good luck to the volleyball players, and also you got I guess basketball cranks up here real soon. When's that happen?
Basketball, they've already started practicing, and the first week in November they have contests.
Okay.
So
good to see you, Bill. As always, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Also, we've got Tim Hardigree. Is the principal at Theodore High School.
Absolutely, welcome.
Well, thank you. We have been very welcomed. And let's talk about things going on at Theodore in terms of not just athletics, which looks like it's going pretty well tonight. What are some of the other things that you'd like to point out that are happening in the classroom?
Yeah, absolutely. We're having a great night on the football field. We started out real well. We got a new coach this year with Steve Mask, whose resume speaks for itself, his relationship building skills, bringing the community back together and continue to build on what Coach Collier had in line. Phenomenal, but within the school itself, our academy structure is phenomenal. We got a new logistics program this year that will go well with our engineering program, our nursing, our dental, our marketing, our business. Our academy structure is fantastic. Our academic side of the school is flourishing better than it ever has. It's a great day to be a Bobcat. I know that much, and to be at Theodore High School, you know, the administration within Mobile County Public Schools is phenomenal. Mr. Threadgill does a great job, and his team to guide us along the way, and you know, it's just good times in Mobile County.
Well, we see all the new high school stadiums being built. There are going to be changes here as well.
Absolutely. You know, as soon as this season is over, they're talking about putting a turf in, a new track, a new press box, a new concession stand down there, so it'll be like a new high school. 1983 revamped all over.
Tim, good to see you tonight, and congratulations on the successes at Theodore High School.
Hey, look, thank you so much for what you do for the kids at Mobile County Public Schools, and welcome to Theodore High School.
Happy to do it. Again, at the half, Theodore 35, McGill nothing. And
the best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Cotterill, the West Point commit. West Ashley looking to make a shot downfield. He finds his man. It was Ethan Renew, the sophomore, making the biggest play of his season.
This could very well be the ball game. Dreer looking to get within one with the touchdown. They'll throw the same pass to the other side right there, and caught. Touchdown, Dreer.
He's able to run. Oh, and he's leveled. It's Xavier Jones again.
Throwing deep. It tipped.
He got it.
And caught by Charleston. Touchdown. He fell, but he's in.
In the backfield, bit of a bad snap. It went wild, but Robertson takes it himself and dives, and he's got the touchdown.
This kid makes things happen when not everything's going right.
Be fielded right at the goal line. And the Clemens Buffaloes bring it out across midfield and break it. Across the 35 to the 40, down the sideline, and gone. An opening night touchdown return. Here's Miles Davis. This kid is a Texas A&M commit. He is the real deal. He finds a seam. He's breaking it across the 30 to the 35. He's still on his feet. Watch out. Davis to the 40. Gets a block, got to get one more. Touchdown.
The band is under the field direction.
Impressive first half by the Theodore Bobcats on top 35-0. They have not been stopped or slowed down at all in that first half, and McGill's going to get the ball to start the second half. Take a look at this McGill schedule. You know, they opened up a couple of back-to-back losses against Montgomery Catholic and St. Paul's, and then, you know, kind of got the meat of their schedule that they're moving into right now. And last week, you know, they actually, like, yeah, that's screwed up. They lost to Spanish Fort last week after winning at 4 in a row. They had run off there, but now you got Spanish Fort, Theodore, then you got Blount and Saraland to close things out. So they're coming into the meat and potatoes part of the 6A schedule here, and you know, they got to be you like their chance against Blount, and then it's going to be a tough one against Saraland. So that's why this one was very important for their playoff hopes here.
Yeah, you know, they probably aren't a playoff team this year, you know, and this is not exactly the squad that David Faulkner envisions going into the future. So just, you know, but slow process. Give it time. These guys won a state championship not that long ago. They had a great run for about 10 years.
2015. Yeah. And you see what, you know, Baker, top teams in 7A, beat Theodore to start the year 36-20, and then, you know, since then they've been on a run. They lost the game against Spanish Fort 8-3 in a battle here. So when the quarterback got hurt as well. An impressive win over Opelika and beat Blount, and now they got two tough ones to close out their portion of the schedule as well. They'll be at Saraland next week. That one on Friday Night Rivals, and then they close things out against St. Paul's, and that could be a deciding who ends up as the number 3 and the number 4 seed in the region. As you look things over right
there
right
it is. There's the region standings right there. A lot of people nestled in the middle.
Yeah, you kind of figure it's going to stay the same at the number 1 and 2 spot there. So both Saraland and Spanish Fort will host in the first round, and then you got two teams to get those final spots, and you know, looking at probably going to be a Theodore and St. Paul's battle, as we said, for the final playoff spot to see who's going to end up number 3 and who's going to end up number 4. See the top 10, those two teams up top, Saraland and Clay Chalkville, Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, Muscle Shoals, Parker. And then you got Theodore rounding out the top team. And I think, if you're if you're a Theodore team, you're going to go on the road. I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be excited to have Theodore coming into your building first round of the playoffs.
This team?
Yeah.
No way. And yeah, if they're third in the in the region, have to hit the road. That team on the road better be ready for Theodore coming to town.
All right, halftime here in Theodore. All Bobcats on top of McGill-Toolen, 35-0. We'll come back and get you ready for the second half after this on Friday Night Rivals.
The following segment is sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Coca-Cola Bottling Company United and Dr. Pepper is extremely excited to be back as a sponsor with Friday Night Rivals. Being part of that, the youth, the school, the activity, giving back to the community is what we do. We are fortunate enough to have a lot of schools here in our surrounding area and the Gulf Coast, and that partnership has grown since the 1900s, since Mr. Bellingraf had it, and we've continued that partnership until now. As you know, this is just a spoke in the wheel for us as part of what we do, partnerships in the community.
And every Friday night, we honor our Scholastic athletes here on Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by our friend Andy Citron. Andy Citron Injury Attorneys. And tonight, no different. And start here with McGill-Toolen, Dan Brennan.
He gets the kicker, right? The punter, Henry Green.
He's been busy tonight.
He has been too busy tonight. He's the punter, and I believe the kicker as well. 12th grader, GPA 3.97. Of course, he plays football. All these honors to the Green Club, the Student Ambassador, NHS Honor Roll, Academic Letter, Life Teen, and of course plans to attend Alabama, Auburn, or South Alabama. He does have a football offer already from the Princeton of the South, Rhodes College, and excellent work done by Henry Green in the classroom and of course on the football field too.
And also, we have our Scholastic athlete from...
Yeah, that's the kicker as well, right?
Theodore, back-to-back kickers.
Miguel Angel Frias Robertson, Theodore High School. He's got a 4.59. He takes that work in the classroom pretty seriously. Football and soccer, of course. National honors include National Honor Society and Health Sciences Academy. He plans to attend South Alabama, UAB, or UWF. I guess it's probably going to come down to who offers the kicking or scholarship for soccer.
And he's going to pursue what? Our old degree?
Radiologic Sciences. He'll do better than I did.
Thanks to Andy Citron. One of our Scholastic athletes going to win $5,000 here. And Free is also all-county in soccer, not just football. He's perfect on the year. And he's 5 for 5 on PATs tonight, and he's been busy because it's been all Theodore here to start things off. And it's Vontae Robertson going in. That was his second touchdown of the night, and this was a big one here. This was 63 yards, and holes on the left side, holes on the right. They look the same, big, and he goes untouched most of the night.
Yeah, they do. They're big. He's fast. He's a violent runner, too. This is a former quarterback right here on the slip screen, right?
Yep. That was Rigby.
Comes right out of the backfield and ends up in the end zone. He shows good speed, too. And then you've got...
this is the linebacker in him right here. It's let's go. Come on. Robinson, and then here was his fourth touchdown of the night, and 238 yards, I believe. I'm going to look at the total yards in the first half. 379 for Theodore, 100 for McGill-Toolen. And what a 278 yards on 15 carries in the first half for Richardson.
Not bad.
And at McGill, they've had the ball, you see the time of possession there, way more than Theodore in the first half, but it's because Dan said Theodore's been scoring quickly. And we were having some issues up here. Coach Baskin, keep the starters in for a little bit here in the second half, you would guess?
Yeah, I would guess. And from what he told me, it looks like I said, how do you manage a game like this in the second half? He said, well, you still got to get some things done. Maybe we'll see what our first team can do the first drive and then take it from there. Now, McGill gets the ball first, by the way.
Yeah, you get good look at Coach Steve Mathbo. He's been great to us over the years. Tim came to St. Paul's in 2012 as a coordinator, Jimmy Perry, right?
Yep, that's right.
They replaced him there, but he's been great to us since we first met him.
Yeah, no doubt. And he knows the value of TV, too, and he appreciates the work that our crew does.
He's one of his best friends on the planet, Coach Terry Curtis at UMS. Oh, the stories those two could tell sitting down over a cold glass of lemonade on a summer day.
Pull up a stool, gentlemen.
And just, we don't have to say much. Just listen,
right? No, but we're in.
Yeah, for sure. And David Faulkner over there, again, he was on Rush Probe's staff when Rush had the lightning in the bottle down here at Alma Bryan, and then he actually was the head coach down at Bryan in 2001, and then bounced around, was at the Hoover staff. He's been some really great, some great programs, and a great run at Fairhope. It's funny, when he was at Fairhope from his great run, his run there 2009 to 2011, his worst loss was when he lost, when he was then he left there and went to Enterprise. When he lost at Enterprise 27-23, he lost there to go 10-2 in the second round of the playoffs to McGill-Toolen. Thought he had him beat. Bubba Thompson, back when he was a two-sport star, not just knocking baseballs all over, hit Larry Rembert on an 85-yard touchdown on fourth down, a minute 4 to go, 85 yards for the touchdown to beat him 27-23. He said that's still one of my toughest losses I've ever had in my coaching career.
Yeah, remember Bubba for sure, and I remember Rembert very well, too.
Yep.
I think they had a bunch of good wide receivers on the team that eventually won the state.
Yep, left Fairhope and went to Enterprise. Short kick this time, and Welch will take it inside the 20 and up the middle, and still on his feet, spins out of a tackle, and now up to the 43. So best starting field position of the night for McGill-Toolen.
Yeah, thanks to their very talented cornerback, Welch. Might see a little bit on offense, too.
Jordan Nelson on the stop for the Bobcats.
And
McGill-Toolen
Murchison will come back out here for
43-yard line.
the Yellow Jackets. And they'll open things up here in quarter number 3.
4 wide.
They'll give it off to Miller, who is met by Norwood at the line of scrimmage.
Norwood on the stop for the Bobcats.
Yeah, just like you said, he's 6'2", 305. The whole plugger on the McGill side is 185.
Yeah,
that's
exactly right. I mean, these lines of scrimmage are not, in wrestling, for instance, everybody, if you're wrestling, if you're 185, you're wrestling a guy about 185.
Yeah, right. Freestyle or Greco-Roman, I think. This one tipped and intercepted, held on to with the pick. J.J. Bush.
Is intercepted by J.J. Bush.
His third interception of the year as it got tipped in the air, and then he tipped it, juggled it momentarily, and Bush comes up with a pick. But again, more pressure on Murchison trying to get that one away.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting every time he drops back to pass. Watch Murchison right here. Doesn't get hit that time. A lot of congestion back there. And that kid's got a nose for the football for sure.
His third pick of the year, just a sophomore. And here comes
Overton at quarterback for the Bobcats.
The Bobcats, and they have good field position at the 46.
But under center, I formation.
Yep, Draper in at the tailback. And they give it to him, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll be driven backwards for a rare loss on a play from scrimmage here for the Bobcats. As Overton replaced Cam Rigby, got hurt in the Spanish Fort game, and
Play loses. a yard.
Overton has come in. And
Second, 11
he's their
for
quarterback of the
Bobcats.
future here for Theodore, just a sophomore.
Looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Sure.
Steve Mast running down that play clock each time. It looks like that's what it's going to do here in the second half.
Pitch to Draper on the near side. Now Draper turns the corner, and he's got nobody in front of him.
Yeah. Nobody in front of him because Welch blitzed.
56 yards for the touchdown.
Did you see when he got by Welch? And I'm like, well, that's it.
Nobody. AM&S Calvert touchdown.
And I guess that's your third string tailback, just for the record.
2-play drive, and you're right, Watts comes in there, and
nobody behind him.
Yeah, Earl did a good job to just kind of seal him out, and Draper. They don't get a lot of runs like that in practice, it didn't seem like. They don't have a lot of open runs in practice, from what Coach Mask was telling us.
I doubt it. And, you know, it is. It's like you're going up against that defense every practice. It doesn't feel like the field is that wide.
Our Scholastic Athlete of the Week, Frias, stays perfect on the night, and AM&S Calvert touchdown. AM&S Calvert, innovations in steel, strengthened by people. Now hiring AMSCalvertJobs.com. It's all Bobcats here tonight. Draper whizzing right by you on a Friday night. All Theodore. And the start of the third quarter looked a lot like what we saw in the first 2 quarters.
It did. A lot of blocking.
Did I see you start to jump around, Dan Brennan? Did you started to do a little jump around here?
I don't remember. I'm a little fogged up with my memory. There's been so many moments in my life that were trend starters. I don't know if that was one of them or not.
So Theodore's offense just out there for 2 plays after the turnover by McGill, and
Frias to kick off for the Bobcats.
so Frias been so busy. You might need some time in the cold tub to rest that left leg. Get it.
I'll tell you what, you want to get rest up for Saraland. That's up next.
Yeah, that's going to be here on Friday Night Rivals. Again, high kick to the near sideline, and Welch at the 18. Welch has a little hole and to the 30. Kind of looking to see if they might keep the clock going here. Now Welch is slow to get up. He's been busy on the kickoff returns tonight, and also out there on defense.
I think he was a starter last year, too.
Sure.
Returns the ball out to the
he's
31-yard line. We have officials timeout.
He's been a good corner for them over the past couple of years, so we'll take a break with him while Welch is down. Theodore on top here early in the third. So good news there. Welch able to jog off while we were in our break-in. After the kick return, able to get this one in the hands of Roscoe Haywood. He hasn't touched it a lot tonight. You can see why they do like him. He's a playmaker and picks up a first down up to the 43-yard line.
Little bootleg.
Yeah, Roger,
accurate with the ball.
Yep, Rogers there on the chase, and
43-yard line.
First down here for the Yellow Jackets. Langen up to about the 49. He'll get 6 on first down.
Got the helmets popped off.
So, yeah, that'll be Roman Tran, who will get replaced on the offensive line.
Sion Morris on the stop for the Bobcats.
So second, the wind picking up here.
Oh, yeah, it has.
The third quarter. Langen got maybe a yard here, and 3rd and about 4 coming up.
Gabriel Watson on the tackle for the Bobcats. 3rd down and 3 for the Yellow Jackets.
For this McGill-Toolen. Murchison steps up, finds a little safety valve there on the far side, and he's got it complete to Langen for another 1st down.
Everything David Faulkner told me about Murchison is true. He processes very well. He's accurate with the football. He's a big, strong kid. He's, as much as he's been bothered by the rush, he's also broken some tackles.
Sure.
Trying to make plays. He's quietly actually having a pretty impressive night in this hailstorm of a defense he's playing.
Now, able to get that one. There was some contact, and a flag comes in, and able to get that one complete off to Haywood. And there's some confusion there, but Haywood able to make the catch, and it was going to be pass interference against Theodore. There was contact early.
Well, you had Hayward and Miles in the same area. I think that was some confusion to start with. Oh, wow. Might have been Miles as the
offensive pass interference.
Yeah, let's see if it's Miles that gets flagged here, because they're in the same area. And yeah, Miles, that might have been considered a pick.
Yeah,
I don't know.
On Bobby Pruitt.
Yeah. I don't know if that was his intention, Jim.
Right.
That's what the call was.
So we can add a backing up piece of heavy equipment to our sound effects we've had here this evening.
Yeah, it's another great stadium experience like we had at Faith Academy. They were playing the hits.
And then Halloween chocolates for us in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
So
bring up 2nd down forever.
This will bring it all the way back to the 43. Second,
First down forever.
I think about 1st and 25 for the Yellow Jackets. No one in a hurry.
No.
Here, now they'll wind it and start the play clock, and Murchison again steps up in the pocket, has time, looking over the middle, and it's just overthrown as he was trying to get Zuniga.
Pass falls incomplete.
Had some time there, and you saw the arm on display.
Yeah, we did. That was very impressive. What a rope.
And Zuniga is one of his favorite targets, kind of a speedster in the slot there.
You can only, how do you judge Murchison on a night like this? You see plays like that. Pretty impressive, I thought. And again, when he's got a pocket, he can be effective.
2nd and 25. Fires this one, tipped up in the air and almost intercepted by T.J. Davis. It's his 2nd pass breakup of the season.
Almost intercepted by T.J. Davis. But the pass falls incomplete.
And he'll bring up 3rd and 25.
Murchison's got a good arm. Look at Davis watching all the way. Good play by the linebacker, drifting back, eyes on the quarterback, in his zone, and nearly makes the play.
Yeah, so now 4 wide again, and Theodore dropping 8 back in coverage on 3rd and 25. Murchison has time, middle of the field again. Zuniga's got it. He's got the 1st down up to the 30. So they needed 25, and they got.
McGill's pass complete for a 30-yard gain.
Yeah, they were able to get the 1st down up to the 33. Now, again, Murchison, good awareness in the pocket to step up. Found a little spot there for Zuniga. And
a ray of hope from McGill, just making some big plays in the passing game.
Murchison again, middle of the field, big hit put on, but held on to. Did he hold on? That was a flag coming in. That was a big hit. Zuniga again
Yeah, he ran him right into his safety. It was a good throw and maybe a good catch. I guess that ball ended up on the ground.
Let's see here. If he held on, he's up. That's a good sign. So, and Rev Zuniga will head up. Let's watch here on the replay. Yeah, that was Robinson who he held onto the ball. That's a catch.
It did, and crown of the helmet, I guess he dipped it. He didn't hit the helmet, but he hit the shoulder pad. But he did it with the crown of his helmet.
Steve Mass said that Robinson is. He said he is.
Targeting call.
He is so aggressive out there. He said sometimes I worry. He's 5'11", 170. He said sometimes I worry about him hurting himself.
Could have there. That's what that rule's for, right?
So, but they didn't mark off. That was a catch. He held on. That should have been a catch. They should be more. I think that's what David Faulkner was asking over on the far side.
I mean, especially after the hit, they should have given him credit for the catch. He clearly had it when he went to the ground. If there's ever a catch you've earned, that was the one.
Pick up 3 yards on first down and bring up 2nd and 7.
All right, so they get 3 here. Let's see if Theodore starts bringing a little more pressure. They were just putting 3 up on the line here, and Lenigan
TJ Davis on the stop for the Bobcats.
gets a couple there as we approach 5 minutes gone by here in the third.
Every time I hear that train whistle, I think the 905 from Tulsa's arrived. There's a lot to take in here.
You know, is the Amtrak? Are we back up and rolling here in Mobile yet?
It's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
I love when somebody said you shouldn't just think of it as a party train in New Orleans. I thought that was the first thing I thought when I heard it was coming back. Again, the sophomore Lenigan going to get a 1st and goal.
Getting a good push up front there for McGill. Haven't seen that much of the night.
1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Deepest McGill has been into Theodore territory here tonight. Murchison looking over the middle. He's dropped. Had it. Wes Miles.
Gill's pass falls incomplete.
That's a catch you got to make for your quarterback.
That's a catch you got to make when you're down 42. Pretty much on the money.
I'll bring up 2nd and goal.
2nd down and goal.
Murchison's done a good job of quitting himself here in the second half, hasn't he?
For sure. Pitch it off as Roscoe Haywood tried to turn the corner, and the speed of that Theodore defense going laterally.
A little too much.
Yeah.
TJ Bush on the stop for the Bobcats.
Sends him back for a loss, and 3rd and goal. Going to get pushed back to the 10.
The middle linebacker's a good player too. And 8, Brian Ward.
Yep. He is just a junior, and they got their 2 starting corners and a safety are underclassmen as well. Here on 3rd and goal. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen and a hard count, and we'll get 5 back here. We'll bring up 3rd and goal from about the 5.
I think some of the things that Steve Mass taught to us maybe caught him a little off guard getting the Theodore job. What he noticed was, first of all, they got players. But I think it was really the attitude of the players, how much they desire to be good at football, not just play the game.
Murchison, 3rd and goal. Pressure coming. Eludes it and rolls to the right side, and now Murchison pulls up, and he gets it to Miles, who, speaking of acquitting himself, makes the touchdown reception there, and Murchison kept that play alive, and he's got the first Yellow Jacket touchdown of the night, an A.M.S. Calvert touchdown. And again, just like the moxie of Murchison on a play like that.
Absolutely love it. And not only the moxie, but then the execution. He's got to change the play, basically, on the run. He knows he really can't run it in there.
Pulls up, and Miles looks that one.
Miles, he trusted his hands again on that one.
Yep. A.M.S. Calvert Innovations in Steel, strengthened by people now hiring at amscalvertjobs.com, is our Scholastic Athlete of the Week for McGill on here for the PAT. Henry Green gets the Yellow Jackets on the board, looking at Joe Downey Fieldhouse. And it's good, and McGill-Toolen on the board. Just past the halfway point of quarter number 3. Murchison to Miles. And McGill with their first score of the night here on Friday Night Rivals.
Friday Night Rivals brought to you in part tonight by the Mobile County Sheriff's Office, providing a challenging and interesting job opportunity. Join Team Sheriff today at teamsheriff.org. Also, thank you very much to IBEW. It's the largest electrical union in the world, representing workers' rights in all areas of the electrical and telecommunications industries. Thank you for being a sponsor. Friday Night Rivals on UTV 44.
Spanish Fort beats Robertsdale 45-0. They held Golden Bears to just 38 yards of total offense. So Spanish Fort 6-1 on the year. And, you know, saw him early in the year. Of course, we saw him go against that Saraland team that's blown out everybody. And then maybe kind of thought, Spanish Fort's struggling a little bit this year. And then here we are, 6-1.
Yep.
That's where they are.
Yep, that's where they are, including a win over this team.
Faith leads Williamson 29-0. St. Paul's leads Blunt 21-0. Boy, Mary G. shutting out Daphne 34-0 over in Daphne tonight.
Wow.
No letdown after the big win for Mary G. over Baker last week. As Green gets ready to kick
push back deep for the Bobcats.
This one off. J.J. Bush at the 6.
Careful.
And Bush across the 30 with a stiff arm. Bush into McGill territory. As Tylen Stanton got the worst of that collision over there on the return. And now Bush again, he's free safety, 6'3", 192 pounds. He's gonna be a linebacker for this team next year.
Yeah, there's been a lot of collisions just like that, won by the team in black.
Yeah,
it's been their night.
Yeah, now we see lots of substitutions in here for the Bobcats. Darren Hancock now in at quarterback.
The quarterback for the Bobcats.
Gives this one off to Harvey Davis.
The ball for the Bobcats.
Davis picks up 19 on that one.
Touchdown.
Well, look at him. They're trying to find who to block.
Great block on the corner by Austin Youngblood.
I just wonder why we haven't moved into the continuous clock part of this one.
Might be the fourth quarter, maybe?
Yet here. And Hancock, now he rolls out, trying to get to the edge. He turns the corner, gets dragged down from behind. Good play on the chase there by Hill.
Around right in.
Hill, the senior.
Play gains 1 yard.
Able to pull him down and bring up 2nd and 9. Fairhope blowing out Bryant down the road here, 34-6. Well, Davidson about to get another win, it looks like, on top, 38-28 over Foley. Bayside leads Escambia County 31-7. Viger 40-7 on top of Alberta. Jackson beating St. Michael 28-10. That was a halftime score. Clark County over St. Luke's, and McGill shuts this one down, and there's flags aplenty as Harvey Davis got wrapped up on that one. Let's see what the illegal shift against Theodore.
McGill, I believe, has got only 2 seniors on this defense, by the way. Very young. When you're talking about very young, too, Jim, college, that's one thing. In high school, it's the development of the body. Sure. I mean, they're just still, the running backs were a sophomore and a freshman.
Third down. Hancock back to Davis, and Davis pulled down by Mitchell Adams, one of the youngsters, a sophomore there that Dan was alluding to. And bring up 4th down here, and I think if you're Steve Maskey, just run the football here. You don't, no reason to try long field goal at this point or anything like that. Just run the play clock down, and on 4th and 14, just if you pick it up, you pick it up. But
well, they popped a few runs today.
Yeah,
and they're still blocking pretty well.
Hand clock winds the play clock all the way down to 5, and then drops the snap and falls on it. So McGill will improve their field position with the stop. The first time McGill has not, Theodore has not scored when they've had the football here tonight.
Haven't punted yet for sure. And now it's a chance again. We saw some good things from Murchison last drive, right?
Yep. We'll see.
Maybe we see more here.
Let's see if they keep him in at quarterback, or nobody else has thrown a pass for McGill this season.
Let's also keep an eye. I think you keep him in, Jim, but let's also keep an eye on this lineup on Theodore's side if they keep many of their starters in there.
It still looks like most of them are out there, and they give this one around to Roscoe Haywood, and Haywood up to about the 45.
McGill runs around the left side. Play gains 8. Bring up 2nd and 2 for the Yellow Jackets.
That's where you see officials too. Sometimes it's kind of close as he inbounds. It's out about, yeah, you just keep that clock running. You just say, no, he was in inbounds. Miller, the freshman, with a 1st down.
1st down run for the Yellow Jackets.
You know, he must show them something to play as much as he does as a freshman. Obviously, you're depleted. You've got people hurt. You'd rather not play a freshman at running back, but at the same time, what's he going to be in 2 years, right?
Exactly. That experience while you can. And if it wasn't like this at McGill right now, David Faulkner wouldn't be the coach.
Right.
They wouldn't have made a change.
Yep. Right.
Out of the backfield, Miller up the sideline. It's going to be short of the 1st down. There, will they stop his forward progress? Give him about, so they going.
Cedric Mosley on the stop for the Bobcats.
Not sure where they've spotted this one. Is there a flag? Flag over there that we had to be on the far side because we've yet to.
Holding called on the Yellow Jackets.
Haven't had many flags tonight, really, have we?
No.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
A holding on the outside, it looks like.
The old down.
So, replay 1st down here with 2:22 to go. UMS leads Citronelle 24-0. That one in the 4th. Murchison has that one knocked down. Has going up to swat that one away. Gabriel Watson went up to knock that one
Bowles with a knockdown for the Bobcats.
down, and that'll.
I love that hustle. You know, you don't have to do that. You're up 42-7.
But you like Watson, one of the reserves coming in there. It's your time to.
Yep.
You earn hard week of practice every week. You earn these minutes. And Murchison drug down from behind as this time it's Jordan Gandy getting in on the sack party.
Yeah, again, Murchison shows some pocket awareness. He shows some strength there, too, because watch this.
Yeah, that could have been a strip sack.
Yeah.
That he was in. You saw that Gandy was going for the football. You just see so many defenders now that they go for that football more than they ever used to. It's not about the sack as much as they want to knock that ball loose.
It's taught.
Murchison dumps it off to Miller, and Miller going to be hit for a big loss here on third down, and that holding penalty just derailed that drive on first down.
Here comes the punt team. They had good field position, had a chance to rev up that offense a little bit. The hold takes them back and behind the sticks, and now they'll kick it away.
Henry Green will come out to punt.
Pretty good football by some of these Theodore reserves we're seeing here tonight, too.
Robinson back to receive the punt. Good kick. Robinson has it go off his hands and out of bounds over on the far side. And we'll have Hills. Defense comes. Defense comes back out here and.
West Mobile and the Midtown area. Carolina Oaks, Alabama tradition of families.
Darren Hancock stays out here at quarterback for Theodore, who's looked most impressive here tonight. Draper.
Drapier around the left end for about 6 yards.
Bangs ahead, and they will have to snap it one more time. That's what I said. Like a lot of times, you see the officials will be a little bit just slow in getting that ball spotted, so you could have just run the quarter out, but they spot it with 1 second difference.
By the way, Richardson tonight, who I guess you really haven't seen much in the second half, 15 carries, 278 yards, and 4
All in the first
TDs.
half. Yeah, did not come in, has not been in the backfield in the second half. Now we get a false start penalty on Theodore with 2 seconds left. Now push him back to 2nd and 10.
Illegal procedure on the Bobcats.
If they'll wind the clock here, they won't have to snap this one in. They will not, so that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Still all Theodore on top of McGill-Toolen here in the 6A Region 1 matchup tonight. Bobcats been impressive all night long.
Friday Night Rivals brought to you in part by Greer's, serving the community for 107 years. Wow. Also, the U.S. Army. Be all you can be. Find your path at GoArmy.com. And by the United States Coast Guard. U.S. Coast Guard is proud to sponsor the presentation of the colors each Friday night with Friday Night Rivals. Find out more about the Coast Guard at GoCoastGuard.com.
Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, and our great Friday Night Rivals crew here in Theodore. And it's been all Bobcats here tonight. And we start quarter number 4. Darren Hancock gives it off to Draper. Draper looking to turn the corner. He's got a touchdown tonight, and he'll get up near the sticks on this one. So we look ahead to next week with a Saraland and Theodore matchup, and you just wonder if is anybody going to slow Saraland down? I'm not even going to come in and upset. I'm like, can you even slow it down to make it a game for more than the first quarter and a half?
You watch this team tonight, Theodore, and you're thinking, well, certainly they've got the talent to play nearly anybody. That's the astounding thing about Saraland. People do not match up well with them.
It's like coaches. It's like a video game.
Yep.
It just.
Draper for 3 yards.
Well, it was like a video game last year. Those kids were sophomores, some of the stars of that team, and now you've got a defense that is as stifling as the offense is. Breathtaking.
Yeah, where last year Jeff Kelly kind of thought, he's like, hey, there might be some games we're just going to have to flat out outscore some people.
Yeah.
Just,
and they did.
Obviously, that's how you have to win the game, outscore, but like in a shootout fashion.
Yeah,
but now they can shut you down, and that's what they've done here tonight. And it's so easy to just focus on all the star power on that offense. I do remember having a conversation with Jeff Kelly a few years ago, and I don't know when he kind of see how things were growing there, and he was just he wasn't being arrogant or cocky or anything, but he just said, there's some teams that they're going to get us, they better get us now, because we got some players coming.
That was probably Williams and Mick Williams and freshman year.
Yep, and
they've arrived.
I mean, you got a quarterback going to Texas. You got the number 1 wide receiver in the country going to Alabama for now.
How about this? McWilliams, Sante
McWilliams, yep.
Offered by Stanford.
How about that one? Incomplete on the long toss up the far side. Unable to hold on to that one was Morris. And so that'll bring up 4th down. The clock stopped.
Hancock's pass intended for Morris. Just off his fingertips.
Hancock looking to make some space over there, and Frias will punt for the first time tonight.
It's going to look at him here. Scholar Athlete of the Week for Theodore High School.
He's got 3 inside the 20, long of 50 on the year. End over end style, and called for a fair catch and then just grabbed it at the 12 as Roscoe Hayward was back there. And McGill comes back out. Well, it was really great to catch up with both coaches again before. Coach Mask has only been out of our area for a year, but Coach Faulkner, when he left over in 2011, I mean, it's been a dozen years since we saw him on a home team sideline over here.
Yes. Forgot how much we like the guy,
Yeah.
Had a good conversation with him yesterday after I was involved in this event up at University of Mobile. They honored Johnny Musso, the legendary Alabama quarterback, and the format was for me after the lunch to sit on stage with Johnny one-on-one and just interview him. It was a thrill.
Murchison back to Lenahan, and picks up a couple there on 1st down.
As much as a legend as Johnny Musso is in Alabama, he kind of ended up in the Canadian League and then a little bit with the World League or Birmingham.
Had a cup of coffee with the Bears, right?
And
Chicago
with the
Bears?
Bears, and he never left Chicago. I mean, he still lives in the greater Chicago area. He's been in business and lived there and raised a family for all these years. Him coming back to the state is like, whoa.
Huh.
And I got to tell you, what a
Tennessee
gracious
week,
man.
right? Like
Justin Moore on the stop.
Just a thoughtful, soft-spoken, gracious man. I think better than the interview was I got a chance to spend about an hour with him before the interview, just kind of prepping for the interview, and learned so many things about him I was able to take up on the stage.
And you were telling me that, like, just learn what kind of person he was. I mean, just a gracious, just a wonderful gentleman.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He could bring up a story from when he was 10 years old and a tear would come to his eye. And he talked about his mother, who raised 4 kids. All 4 kids went to college. She worked minimum wage jobs. His dad died when he was 2. Raised those kids in a house where they had they had a share bedrooms, and it wasn't perfect in any sense. But he never sounded like, poor me. He was such an admirer of his mother, who was a Catholic and a churchgoer every day, and he just watched her steadfast attitude, her spirituality, and the way she approached life. And he just said, that's my hero. I never want to embarrass her.
2nd and 6 here, and this is Derek Bernard, the junior, his 10th carry of the season for McGill. As we creep down inside 8 minutes here in the 4th. Bayside leading Escambia County 38-14. 45-35. Davidson leading Foley now in the 4th. Biger rolling over Alberta. Faith shuts out Williamson tonight, as does St. Paul's over Blunt, 21-0. And Bernard again gets up to the 30, and that'll bring out the McGill punt team once again.
There was a gasp in the room. There were former Alabama players there, not all his era, very few his era. Our friend Scott Hunter was there, sat with him, and he was great. There was a gasp when Johnny Musso said, I told Bear Bryant, I'm going to Auburn. And he actually did. They had a dinner at his house. His uncle was there, an Italian-American, had no idea who Bear Bryant was. He then went to his brother's apartment where Bear Bryant, they went there to talk one-on-one. 2 hours of conversation. Somewhere in there, Johnny Musso said to Bear Bryant, I'm not going to Alabama. I'm going to Auburn. And he said that lit a fire under Bear Bryant that he didn't see coming.
He didn't get told no very often, right?
And he didn't get told no ultimately that night. By the end of the evening, Johnny Musso was going to Alabama.
Next day, Auburn's like, what happened? What happened? All right, we'll take a time out here. Approaching the halfway point of the 4th, all Theodore here on Friday Night Rivals.
Friday Night Rivals brought to you in part by Roof Doctors. Got a sick roof? What do you call the doctor? Proud supporter of the student athletes of Friday Night Rivals. Also by Fast Signs. Transforming your place begins at our place. Let Fast Signs help you make your statement. And also brought to you by Herc Reynolds. They're providing our eye in the sky in the end zone, and you see, there you go, just like that. Thank you, Herc Reynolds, for being a part of Friday Night Rivals. Let's go. Let's play some football.
We've been waiting on you.
I know.
You stopped it.
I got it.
So, 1st and 10, and now another flat. I'm really surprised they have not gone to continuous clock here in this part of the second half.
False start on the Bobcats.
Steve Mask.
Bring up 1st and 15.
Always coaching. Always coaching.
There are images of a frosty mug in his dancing in his head. We knew that from a post-game appearance he had with us at St. Paul's about 4 years ago.
Against the UMS game. There's more of that lemonade we were discussing earlier. Good penetration by McGill, but able to slip away from the tackle. That was Colin Allen in there, running back now for the Bobcats. Ooh. Hopefully he's
Colin Allen, the
all
ball
right.
carrier for the Bobcats.
Looks like it.
Colin had a rough go of it around his right side.
So a big loss there on first down. Will bring up 2nd and long after the penalty and the loss there. Yeah, Coach Mask, he was after he left St. Paul's, went up to Pell City, and he's a guy from the northern part of the state, and he was ready to be back down here on the Gulf Coast.
He sure was.
He missed it down here, and he's happy to be back.
Yeah, travel around the state. There's some really nice areas all across the state. This area just is different for a lot of reasons. The water, the beaches, for one, for sure. The coastal attitude.
Yep. Here the Yellow Jacket band still playing. There was a big crowd here tonight from Theodore earlier. They're happy to come out and see their Bobcats roll here. It's good tackle that time by
Harvey Davis.
DeAndre Miller.
Carries for the Bobcats.
And that'll bring up a punt situation here as we're inside 5 minutes to go. PA announcer's even very excited about the punter. His punter coming out.
Might be a connection there. You never know.
Could be senior night here at McGill, and their seniors going to remember their final.
Theodore?
Theodore, yeah, could be their final game here because they play the next 2 on the road, and they're going to open up the playoffs on the road. So it could be the last time they play here.
Yeah, and this is going to be a totally new stadium, transformed with some of that county money that they doled out to all the schools with those brand new stadiums on campus.
So we're going to replace the track here, going to replace all the stadiums in Mobile County school system. We're going to the turf, the sport turf. We get a press box here. We might get to be inside. We haven't been inside here in
forever.
Maybe one time we were in that box, and it's just one open room, and maybe that's why we didn't get invited back in. Might have said something.
Well, I don't think that was our best. That was not the choice for us to go into a room where people are shouting at each other, and we're trying to do a broadcast.
So Blaine Barry now in at quarterback for Yellow Jackets. And Bernard tripped up there, but yeah, that's got to be one of the oldest press boxes in Mobile County here. It's just very, very small.
Kyler off that right end on the stop for the Bobcats.
Steve, there it is, right there. That's we're right in that little tent, and that press box that's going to colorful. Couple of words strung together how Steve Mask described it on the field before the game, and.
Well, see, that was when the music was blaring, which was the entire time that you were talking to them. I just kind of checked out because I couldn't. There's no way I could. Yeah, he's got a raspy voice to start with. The sound system here is among the best ever.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's like the surprise Taylor Swift concert is going to break out here afterwards or what, but the rented PA system down here, and it's.
They were showing it off.
Yeah, the pregame, and even Coach Mask was like, "Can somebody please turn that down?" Then you and I were asking for it as well, and so we're down to about 3 minutes to go here. Dan Brennan, did you change? Last year we had a game here, and may not have had the best. You may have had a bit of a poor pregame parking strategy here at Theodore, if I remember.
That was 2 years ago when I was. You were on the Bayway, and I was 4 inches from where I started.
Dan Brennan was caught in the back behind the school here, and he texted me, and I'll condense it. And he said, are you still in this traffic? I said, dude, I just came through the tunnel. And you were. I got 3 more texts from you. At the third one woke me up after I'd gone to bed, and you finally got home to Mobile.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Even as texts, they could have shaken the earth.
You did not get the easy in, easy out parking here. It should not be a problem here tonight, as a lot of Theodore fans have gone home a little
Yeah, I also
early.
made a better choice pregame.
As we're approaching 2 minutes to go here in this one, I think Vontae Richardson will be our Dr. Pepper player of the game.
That'd be a good choice.
Sure, even though he played only the first half.
I got to remember to gather my things near the end of the game, since my post game takes me down on the field.
I usually do a little sweep here to make sure you've not left anything behind.
Oh, I'm sure I every week leave something behind.
Well, we're going to see this. We're going to see this Theodore team next week as we look at Richardson, our player of the game, with his 4 touchdowns. How many yards? 278? Is that what it was?
Yeah, 278.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper player of the game. And again, he's our starting linebacker, and it was Braxton Clark who was injured and couldn't go tonight. And so Richardson jumps over from linebacker and reels off 4 touchdowns and 278 yards in the first half. As we're down to a minute and a half left in this one, and
swing pass out to the right side.
Dropped on
incomplete.
Second down, so that'll stop it with a minute
With the pressure.
and a half to go. And so this McGill team, they'll regroup. They'll go up against Blunt next week, and then matchup that'll close out the Friday Night Rivals broadcast. They'll take on St. Paul's at home. Hard to believe we only got 2 more after 2 more weeks of football, Dan Brennan.
That's it.
And if you're wondering why it's only 2 more weeks, hey, why don't you guys do the playoffs? Well, because the Alabama High School Athletic Association still will not let us do playoff games live. Still, they think it's 1981. Like I always say, you used to watch the NBA Finals on tape delay after Falcon Crest on Friday nights on CBS. Yeah. That's what they still think it is here up at the state office for some reason.
Nice Falcon Crest reference. Didn't see that one coming.
And Barry didn't see that one. Barry didn't see that one coming either. And should bring this one to a close as clock still running. They're going to be happy just to let this one run out here with impressive win for Theodore here tonight. 42-7. They jumped out 21-0 in the opening quarter and never looked back. And Steve Mask and David Faulkner will get together, and Steve Mask he just could not sing the praises of David Faulkner when we were down on the field. Dan Brennan and I talked, and he said Dave is just one of the good guys, and one of the guys that kind of in that fraternity that a lot of the maybe elder statesmen coaches are able to really enjoy each other's company still and enjoy going through what they all go through together. And Theodore on top as the fireworks go here, and then this one 42-7 here on Friday Night Rivals. Dan Brennan will be down on the field to talk with head coach Steve Mask coming up after this.
(42-5) Theodore, 42-7 Theodore over McGill-Toolen. Summarize what you saw tonight.
Well, most impressive thing is you didn't have a ventilator come out of that press box. So I'm very impressed by that fact. That's for dang I'm sure. But, it was a good win.
Like COVID was hitting me.
Don't even talk about that. But, I thought our kids played good. And second half had a little bit of a lax. Got to play a lot of kids. But David Faulkner will get it fixed at McGill. He's too good a coach and a good person. He'll get it fixed. But I thought first half we played about as good as we played in a long time. Both sides of the ball, but just tickled to get us into playoffs with this win tonight.
Coach, I was most impressed, not just with the runs, but the blocking. The blocking on the interior, but the blocking on the outside. They would seek a man, and they would get to that man, and they would put him on the ground.
Well, that says a lot about our offensive coaches. Kendall Gibson, I said, offensive coordinator, and all the other guys worked with him. And, you know, it was a complete game offensively. I think we were 5 for 5 with our ones on drives. And this time of year is what you want to see, Dan, as you know that. But tickled to win, tickled to get in the playoffs, and now we'll figure out the next 2 weeks what we're going to be.
Let's take our friend from Dr. Pepper with the presentation right now.
Coach Mask, on behalf of Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals Championship belt presented to the winner.
Well, thank you, Charles. Appreciate what Coca-Cola does for high school sports and Theodore. They're a big supporter of Theodore. We're very appreciative of it, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming. See you next week.
We're going to see you again next week. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next week is going to be this team in Theodore rolling up to Saraland. We'll see how that all works out. Saraland's been quite the kind of cruise missile this year. So again, the final score tonight, 42-7, Theodore over McGill.
All right, I want to thank our great sponsors here on this Friday Night Rivals victory for Theodore over McGill, 42-7. Dr. Pepper, United States Coast Guard, Sheriff's Office, Mobile County Sheriff's Office, Friends, also Greer's, Andy Citron Injury Attorneys, Roof Doctors, IBW Local 505, M&S Calvert, Fast Signs, the United States Army, and Herc Reynolds. So, victorious night here for Steve Mask and his Theodore Bobcats. Vontae Richardson, a huge night, 278 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the Bobcats roll here in 6A Region 1, and we'll see him next week when they travel to Saraland, and we'll have that game for you right here on Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by Dr. Pepper.